Most founders think building a community is simple. They create a Slack or Discord, invite a few hundred or even 1,000 users, and expect the community to magically come alive. But what usually happens? Silence. A few introductions, a couple of random questions, and then the community becomes a ghost town. Because the truth is simple. A Slack group is not a community. It's just a chat box. If you want a real community, you need a system that creates engagement. And one of the most powerful frameworks for this is called the Campfire model. The Campfire model. Think about how people gather around a campfire. They don't just stand there quietly. They talk, they share stories, they connect. And every great community works the same way. The Campfire model has three essential elements. The first element is the light. This represents the value people get from joining your community. It might be exclusive content, early product access, private discussions with experts, or special data that isn't available anywhere else. The light is what attracts people to the campfire. Without it, nobody shows up. The second element is the heat, and this is the most important part. Heat is the conversation between members, not just between the founder and the members. If you're the only person posting, you don't have a community. You have a newsletter with comments. A real community begins when members start helping each other, answering questions, sharing wins, giving feedback. That's when the community becomes self-sustaining. The third element is the wood. Wood represents the effort from founders and moderators to keep the community alive. In the early stages, you must constantly feed the fire. Start conversations, ask questions, introduce members to each other, create challenges, host events. Eventually, once enough engagement exists, the community reaches critical mass. At that point, members start fueling the conversations themselves. Privacy is the new luxury. Another important shift in 2026 is that private communities are becoming more valuable than public groups. Massive groups on social media platforms often become noisy and chaotic. But smaller, curated communities create something different: trust. People feel more comfortable sharing insights, problems, and ideas. So instead of trying to build a massive community with thousands of random members, focus on building a dense community of the right people. Quality beats quantity. The commitment curve. Not every member participates equally in a community. Most communities follow a pattern called the commitment curve. At the bottom are lurkers, about 90% of members. They read conversations but rarely post. Your first goal is simple. Get them to make a tiny action, maybe react to a post, or answer a quick poll. That small interaction is the first step toward participation. Then you have contributors. These members occasionally answer questions or share experiences. They represent around 9% of the community. The best way to motivate them is recognition. Give them special badges. Highlight their posts. Make them feel valued. Recognition is the currency of community. Finally, you have leaders. Usually just 1% of the members. But they are incredibly powerful. These people host discussions, organize meetups, help moderate the group, and often become the biggest advocates of your product. The smartest founders treat these leaders almost like team members. They get early product access, direct communication with the founders, and influence over the future of the community. Rituals create engagement. Another secret to successful communities is rituals. Rituals create rhythm. They give members a reason to return regularly. For example, a weekly motivation Monday where members share their goals, an expert Wednesday session where a guest answers questions, or a show and tell Friday where users share what they built using your product. These small rituals make the community feel alive. Without rituals, people forget the community even exists. The Founding 50 strategy. One of the biggest mistakes founders make is launching a community to everyone at once. Instead, start small. Identify your 50 most engaged users. Invite them personally. Send them a message or even a short video explaining that they are founding members. Ask for their feedback. Let them help shape the culture of the community. When people help build something, they feel ownership over it. And that ownership makes them much more likely to stay and contribute. The no answer rule. There's another interesting tactic used by successful community managers. It's called the no answer rule. When someone asks a question in the community, don't answer it immediately. Wait a few hours. Instead, tag another member who might know the answer. For example, "Hey Sarah, didn't you solve a similar problem last week?" This encourages members to help each other. And when members help each other, the community becomes stronger. Real-world example. A great example of community-led growth comes from Framer. Instead of using Discord only for customer support, they created channels where designers could share their work and receive feedback. Professional designers and beginners would discuss design ideas, give critiques, and learn from each other. Over time, the Discord community became a place where designers gathered not just to fix problems, but to improve their craft. That sense of learning and collaboration created a very loyal user base. Another powerful example. Another company that mastered community-led growth is Notion. They created a program called Notion Ambassadors. These ambassadors host events, create templates, and teach others how to use the product. Instead of the company doing all the marketing, the community spreads the knowledge. Today, thousands of people discover Notion through community-generated resources. Why most communities fail? Even with the best intentions, many communities collapse. One major reason is too much self-promotion. If members constantly promote their products, trust disappears quickly. The solution is simple. Create one specific channel for promotions and ban it everywhere else. Another problem is poor onboarding. When someone joins a community and nobody greets them, they usually leave within a few days. A simple welcome message with clear instructions can make a huge difference. Show new members where to introduce themselves, where to ask questions, and what conversations to join. Finally, many founders focus on the wrong metric. They celebrate when the community reaches 5,000 or 10,000 members. But membership numbers don't tell the real story. What matters is engagement. A community with 300 active experts is far more valuable than one with 10,000 silent members. The big idea. Community-led growth is not about building a big chat room. It's about building a network where people help each other succeed. When that happens, something powerful occurs. Members become advocates. They invite their friends. They create content. They promote your product naturally. And the community becomes one of the strongest growth engines your company can have. Because unlike ads, a strong community doesn't disappear when you stop spending money. It keeps growing, evolving, and creating value for years. And that's why the most successful companies today are investing heavily in community-led growth.